My son Jake, he's 17, and he has a job, and he works for a company called Distinctive Auto Brokers, right? So they have a bunch of cars. They take cars to auctions, and they buy cars, and they sell cars, that kind of stuff. And he loves cars. And his job usually is, he goes there right after school. He's usually cleaning cars, or he's learning how to do oil changes, learn bottom of the barrel stuff.
Basics first.
Learning as much as you can, and he loves every second of it. And sometimes he's driving cars to different places, and he's doing whatever. And this company, Distinctive Auto Brokers, they have all kinds of cars. Like they had the Knight Rider car there.
That was awesome.
Yeah, they have all kinds of stuff. So the other day he got called into work on a Sunday. I think he had to go in, and that's never happened before. But the owner, Randy, bought a new building, and he had to transfer a bunch of cars to this new warehouse. So one of the cars Jake had to move was a cop car, like an older cop car. And I wanted to share it with you guys because Jake was telling me how he's 17. So he gets in this cop car. It's a 30-minute drive. And he was telling me how amazing it was to drive this cop car, how cars are pulling off the side of the road.
Yeah.
Yep. He'd be at a red light. Cars just like pull over. And then they see this little punk 17-year-old, and he'd wave. Hi. It's almost like every time he was going, I'm not a cop, I'm not a cop.
You can tell when you're on the road and you see a car that looks like a cop car, you're just like, oh, man, yeah, be cool.
10 and 2.
So funny, man. And then they sent me a picture of him in the cop car. I should post it because it's so like, he's just this little kid.
It's a cop car that's for sale. Should we get that as a show car?
Because Randy, the owner, has a handful of cars that are his that he's not selling. And I asked Jake, "Is this car for sale?" And he goes, "I don't know, but it's like, I would love to have a cop car."
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it like legal to just drive a cop car around?
Because that's another thing too. Randy had texted me the picture and then says he's the owner, and he goes, I hope he doesn't get pulled over for impersonating a cop car. And then he was like, let's keep him in the front of the cop car, not in the back of the cop car. Yeah. And it was like, and then Jake, check out this story too. So Jake is 17. Next year he's going to college. So I already posted a picture of him, and a lot of people are making comments about him applying to Arizona State University, right? He applied, and he already took the tour of the university, and then COVID hit. Now, he had a tour planned for University of Arizona, where his mom went. But then COVID hit, and so that stopped. So the University of Arizona is trying new things, and they were trying a virtual tour, which was set up yesterday. So I've never done anything like this before. And it was 2 hours, 1:30 to 3:30 yesterday. And so it was all set up. My wife, she went to U of A, so we all had all our Arizona shirts on, and it was coming down to the last minute. My wife was at this Love Up event, and it was far away, and she was like, "Can you set up the Zoom and click on the Zoom?" And I'm like, "Hey, I don't want to be the welcome person when a Zoom starts. You went there.
They're welcoming you, though."
I know, but she's like, bear down, like she's people like her face. You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
She's
you want to see, like,
spirit.
my face always looks like when you open the camera wrong on your phone. So I'm really nervous because it starts with like the dean of admissions, and this is a brand new thing they're starting, right? This is a virtual tour,
big time.
So the thing opens, and it's this woman, Jessica, and Jessica's like, she's the assistant dean of admissions, and she's like, "Hello, welcome." And I like look at her, I'm like, "Hey, I know you." Hi, she's assistant dean of admissions, former Johnjay and Rich intern 18 years ago.
What?
The chances.
I'm like,
That's
wow. I'm
crazy.
like, I hope we're in, right? So it was so amazing to see where she's gone in her life after being on our show 18 years ago, right?
What?
So she hosts this segment, tells us about the school, and then it's this amazing thing. She's like, well, waiting in the waiting room. They have a waiting room, and then they bring up this next person. And that next person goes, "Welcome, I'm the dean of the College of Architecture, and I'm going to show you around." And then they do this whole virtual tour. Then I'm the dean of the Eller School of whatever, College Eller, whatever school, whatever Eller is, business, yeah. And this guy's amazing, and he's showing us around, right? And it's this amazing program to show you what the university has to offer. And at the very end, the guy goes, "I want to let you know what a huge fan that we are of U of A." And I'm like, okay. So he starts showing me his wedding photos. They were wearing U of A stuff, and when he proposed U of A stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
And then he shows a picture of how they have, I said my wife went to University of Arizona, and back in the day we made a donation when Blake was pregnant with Dutch, and we got a big square that we bought in cement, and we made a donation. It says Van S family, Johnjay, Blake, Kemp, Jake, and baby. And they took a picture with their dog right next to it. And they sent me that picture, right? Then they send a picture. They post in their presentation a picture of Suzette and Mr. Baby with them at the airport in Vegas. Or at a, in a piece.
We're at the hotel in Vegas.
They're at a hotel in Vegas. The guy, this is the head of the school, and he's like, "Yeah, we bumped into Suzette and Mr. Baby in Vegas. Like, I'm having this." And then Jake looks over at me and goes, "What's happening?"
Why
I go, "How
Mr.
weird."
Baby?
So I take this picture of the computer monitor of the guy who runs the Eller School of Suzette and Mr. Baby. And then of this, it was just such a weird moment. Isn't that amazing?
It's bizarre.
I remember that clearly. It was when we went to Vegas because of the Pac-12 tournament, and then that was canceled. So we were just stuck in Vegas with like nothing to do, and it was like when everything was shutting down. So there was no clubs open, no pool parties, nothing. And we stayed in our hotel because they had like bars, you know, in the lobby. And I remember clearly running into them when we were waiting at a pizza joint that everyone was talking about. So we got in line and they immediately were like, "Suzette, Mr. Baby," came over to us, hugged us. And when I saw the picture, I was like, wait, they told me who they were. Like, they were big names. I ran to Mr. Baby yesterday and I was like, "Do you remember like what their title was at the U of A?" And he's like, "Nah, I don't remember." And then when you told me, I was like, "Oh, the dean."
So crazy.
That's the title to remember.
It was such a crazy experience. And I was like, oh, it was just so weird that I wasn't expecting that in this meeting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's one of the first virtual meetings they're having at the school with students. It was so crazy, man. And then I said to him, I go, "Look, I want you to pick whatever school you want to go to. But if you go to Arizona State University, I would like you to live here at home with us." Mm-hmm. And he was like, "No, I want to be in the dorm room."
Yeah, why would you want him to look? I know you don't want him to go, but don't you want him to go and experience?
I want him to stay with
like,
us.
Spread his wings and fly.
And then my wife wants him to be in the dorms too. And I go, "And if you go to University of Arizona, you're going to have to stay at the dorms. But then again, you got your Rosita there and you're going to have Mexican food all the time. I go, "You'll have family there." And I go, "But I'll be going to Tucson all the time. We got the KRQ studios there. I'll be doing the show from there. I can come see you all the time." And then Dutch looks over at him and goes, "Bro, you need to go out of state.
Get out of
You
here.
just need to go out of state. Dad's gonna like move in with you. I'm gonna be."
Maybe like Rob Lowe with his sons.
What did he do?
Jeez, he's always with them, like
Oh, yeah,
partying
yeah.
and stuff at the college parties.
I'm ready to move in, bro.
Oh,
I'm
oh.
going in.